Hi friends, welcome to the Spiritual Revelation channel. We also welcome you to the new episode. I was able to watch the new movie titled The Least of These, the Graham Staines story, in Pune on its release date itself, that is on 29th March 2019. Herewith I come up with a short review of that particular movie. I would like to focus on 7 significant aspects related to the movie in the following manner. The first and foremost thing I would like to highlight is the title of the movie itself. The title of the movie is The Least of These, the Graham Staines story. What I found is that though the storyline is from the kernels of the story of Graham Staines, who was an Australian missionary, who worked among the lepers, tribals, and the poor people in Odisha over a period of about 35 years. The overarching story of the movie is all about a journalist and his search for truth. In that sense, Graham Staines' story, it was acted out by Stephen Baldwin, is found in the second layer with the story of Manoharpur Banerjee, acted by Sharman Joshi. That further means that the movie depicts the transformation or conversion of a journalist at the foreground. It seems that the title, The Least of These, is a phrase that originated from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, verses beginning from 31 to 46, where Jesus speaks of those in need. Graham Staines' work among the lepers, the poor, and the tribal community is a favorable background for such a title. The second important aspect I would like to highlight is the characterization of that particular movie. The movie cast is excellent. The first important character is Manoharpur Banerjee, acted by Sharman Joshi, who does his role with ease and depth. His character develops at a U-shaped plot, as at the beginning of the story, he is at an emotionally heightened position to go against the conversion activity done by Graham Staines. In the middle of the story, he develops as a viewer of the events and attempts his best to find evidences against the missionary Graham Staines. At the end of the story, he is heightened to the next position as a person who demonstrates tenets of transformation and conversion. The second most important character is Graham Staines, acted by Stephen Baldwin, who performs his role with all the mannerisms and charisma of a missionary, especially a Western missionary who works among the natives. The third significant character is Gladys Staines, acted by Shari Weidman, who does not make much impact until toward the end of the story. But in the climax scenes, she performs her role with braveness and ease. Her emotions and sensational dialogues are rhetorical and dramatic. The fourth character we need to look with more significance is Shanti Banerjee, acted by Aditi Chengappa, as the wife of Manoharpur Banerjee, who does her role nicely within this movie. Fifth character whom we need to pay more attention is Kedar Mishra, acted by Prakash Belavadi, in the role of the editor of New Odisha newspaper. expresses his antagonism toward the missionary convincingly. The role of Mahendra, acted by Manoj Mishra, provides a dramatic punch to the story. Among all these characters, Manav Banerjee, as a developing and round character, influences the audience. Graham Staines, as a character of his own mannerisms, convinces the audience again. And Gladys Staines' forbearance is brought to the fore with persuasion. Thus, all the characters are up to the mark and convince their roles and status persuasively within this particular movie. The third important aspect we need to highlight when we watch this movie is the plot development of the story. The story has a plot of its own, circumscribed around the development of Manav Banerjee's character. At the beginning, he attempts to find evidence against Graham Staines and his activities of conversion. His agon, or the conflicting situations, are demonstrated convincingly. His flighting or verbal abuse, both with the missionaries and with the world of his own, makes him an isolated figure. The peripeteia or reversal happens through a series of his interactions with the missionaries. The pathos or suffering comes to the fore through both his personal and family struggles, as well as the struggles with the people around. The anagnosis or recognition scenes happens when he witnesses the martyrdom of the missionary and his two sons. The denouement or the resolution of the story takes place through his own conversion toward the end of the story. All through these plot developments, the character of Graham Staines functions as a foil character. In that sense, we may have to consider Manav as the main protagonist of this particular story. The fourth significant aspect I would like to highlight is the thematic development. One of the main themes dealt within the story is selfless love for the sake of the gospel. This theme is safe in the hands of Graham Staines' character. How the missionaries are misunderstood by the religious fundamentalists in India, and how they developed hate toward foreign missions. These are some of the important questions that find answer here in this movie. As Gladys Staines finally comments that whoever did this, we will forgive them. The message of forgiveness is foregrounded. Human transformation is another significant theme that is dealt here, as the missionary was interested in human transformation. And the character of Manav comes to a transformative mood by the end of the story. The theme, human transformation, grips throughout the movie. Manav's statements like, Graham Staines was not into conversion, as we accused him, but he was really into conversion, as he was turning human situations into pleasant and positive opportunities. Thus, love, hope, forgiveness, and human transformation are some of the significant themes dealt with in this movie. The fifth aspect we need to look at when we watch this movie is the blend of reality with fiction. Throughout the storyline, it is circumscribed around the story of Graham Staines, an Australian missionary who was martyred in 1999 in Odisha. The movie develops through the character of a journalist called Manav. The entire event of the missionary movement is developed through the eye view of the journalist here. One of the significant questions is, where is Dara Singh placed within this movie? Did he turn into some Mahendra? A very pertinent question. Moreover, the role of the political parties is not investigated. Rather, everything is looked at from individualistic vengeance and a journalist's point of view. The political reality behind the murder is not brought to the foreground. The Hindu fundamentalism and the role of Bajrang Dal are not made mention within this movie. In that way, the story conceals many things rather than what it reveals. The sixth important aspect we need to keep in mind when we watch this movie is the biblical axiom. The storyline here reflects its similarity with the mission and ministry of Jesus in the gospel narratives. Jesus' ultimate concern was human transformation and the didactic and practical concerns of the kingdom of God. The religious fundamentalists of the day, who are called the Pharisees, and the temple authorities misunderstood what Jesus was indeed doing. Also, they feared the popularity and the fast growing pace of the Jesus movement. The same is obvious through the narrative master plan, plot structure, thematic development, and the characterization of the movie, the least of these. The theme of love for the suffering, neglected, ostracized, and the marginalized is demonstrated in the canonical Gospels, as well as through the movie, the least of these. The seventh important aspect is the things behind the camera. The crew of the movie is excellent. The screenplay of Andrew Matthew is simple but persuasive in several intervals of the movie. J. Krishnan Gummadi's camera directs the spectators even through the minute details. The mountainous terrain, the village setups, and other details are attractive throughout the movie. The music of Bruce Retief and the editing of Stephen H. Bernard add further flavor to the movie. By and above all, the overarching credit of the movie goes to the director Anish Daniel, as he takes extra step to shoot this faith movie and release in India during this crucial juncture. I encourage you to watch this movie and to share the message widely, because I find that this is a very significant movie to watch at the right time. By saying this, I would like to put an end to the review of this movie. I will come up with another video very soon. Until then, bye.